Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to BMTV. We are joined once again by Chris Horne from Amscan. Chris, hello.
Hello, Greg.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What have you been doing since the last time we met?
Not a lot.
So, Chris, the last time you were here, we talked about Valentine's Day.
Yep.
And today you've got something that's not to do with any season at all. But
it's a truly generic, juvenile thing. It does showcase one of the new foils for this year, which is like a little sea creature thing, which is fun. So it's an undersea theme, but it uses a couple of techniques, again, a bit like the Valentine's one, that haven't been seen for a while and I think are due for a bit of a resurgence.
I'm really intrigued as to how you did that, so I'm quite excited to see this. I'm sure it'll be very simple as always.
It is. It's very simple once you know how.
But it looks it's very effective and useful.
Okay. Yeah, it makes really good coral.
Yeah.
But I mean, it will be coral or some kind of undersea thing in this design. But if you can imagine that, because it's flexible, then you can make letters and numbers and shapes and anything you like out of it. So
it's mouldable, isn't it?
It's quite a useful thing.
Yeah, very useful indeed.
Also bearing in mind that particular one is now 3 days old.
All right, okay.
So it's also a lot more long lasting than you might consider.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, I'm going to start by building the sort of frame for the whole piece, because it's all air filled, and I'm going back to the copper pipe.
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm using so often now.
Yeah.
But you don't always want it copper coloured.
No.
So
that's one of the things I thought when you first showed us that and we got the copper pipe in. It's like, oh, well, if somebody's doing something not copper, didn't even enter my mind to do this.
Yeah.
But
I mean, some people wrap it in ribbon, spray paint it, whatever.
Yeah.
But wrapping it with a modelling balloon, a 260, gives you, well, it makes sure that everything matches perfectly.
Yeah.
So I've covered this one with Reflex Blue.
Yeah.
Just in case people are not sure how to do it, I'll do ever so quickly, just demonstrate how I do it on another smaller piece here. But you need a little bit of air in your balloon. Now, I don't tie them, because if you tie them off, you've got the knot to hide. So I'll cut it like that. Yeah. And then I will just tuck that cut end underneath. And once you've gone round once, then it's sealed and it's fine. And then use the air part, and you just wrap.
You always make it look so easy when you do it training and stuff. You make it look so easy. People come to do it, and they're after a couple of times they've got it, but it's or getting it, shall I say? But you just make it look so easy.
Well, yes, and people tell me that a lot. And generally speaking, my answer is that I make it look easy because it is.
Yeah.
But you've got to practice.
Yeah.
And I have been practicing for a long. Can't even tie a knot now, though. I can do all the hard stuff, but I can't tie a knot. There you go. Oh, yeah, I've been practicing for a long time, so it obviously becomes easier with practice. But yeah, these things are not that difficult. Yeah, so it gives you a really lovely smooth finish.
Yeah, lovely.
And by not tying a knot in the first place, then you don't get that lump where you transition.
So you just do that all the way down,
all the way down,
many balloons,
and then it's all covered.
Yeah.
And job's done.
Okay.
Right. So that's that. Let's do this bit now to make some of these. Basically, what you need is stub wires.
Yeah.
So these are your packs of stub wires.
They are, yeah. They weigh a ton.
I can't lift it up.
I know. They are so heavy. How many did you get? Doesn't even say a number.
2.5 kilograms.
Kilos. I don't know how many are in there, but there's plenty.
But I didn't want to open a whole pack for one, so I've brought one of mine, which is slightly different, slightly longer.
Okay.
Doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So you want to put a little bend in the end. If you're fortunate enough to have a pair of needle nose pliers, then you can do it with that, but I forgot to bring them, so I'm just using a little bend over so that you haven't got the sharp point, because the balloon, this is going inside the balloon. Oh. So you've got to protect the balloon from the sharp point, and I've bent it over, and that should do the job. But just to make sure, I'm then going to put a tiny piece of stretchy balloon tape around it as well, just so that there is no danger of that sharp point piercing the balloon, because it's really frustrating if you got nearly to the end of it and then it pops.
Yeah.
So.
I can imagine.
So those are protected then. Okay. Take your balloon. Again, I'm using the blue Reflex, but any of the textures will work. And yeah, give it a bit of a stretch. Right, now, and then I'm going to put the wire inside. So stuff that in there. And the wire in this case is longer than the balloon, doesn't matter. If you just put it like that, then you can inflate. About that much. And we want to shake the balloon so that the wire drops down to the knotted end. So you've got
it's still loose in there.
It's still loose in there, and I've dropped it so at the end of it's here.
Yeah.
Right. So imagining that hook in the end, we'll make a tulip twist. Push the knot in, grab the knot. The hook end of the wire is in here now.
Yeah.
So we're actually trapping. There we go. You can just see it there.
Yeah.
We're actually trapping that end of the wire in that last twist. Right, so now twist, not too much, just enough so that the balloon comes in contact with the wire, and then pull. Where's the wire? There it is. Pull that so that you squash the bubble,
right,
and then twist some more.
Okay.
And then it locks.
Wow. Okay. Clever.
Twist, pull, twist some more, and it locks. You can do it by pushing as well if you like, but that tends to bend the wire out of shape. So I like to get hold of the end and just pull it. That does the same job. And then you just keep going. You can vary the size of the bubbles if you want a bit of texture in there. You can get them all the same if you want them all the same. Entirely up to you. So once again, I make it look really easy.
Because it is.
Technically, it's not that difficult now that it's been explained, but it does take a little bit of getting used to. But there you go.
So how did you first discover? Is this a discovery of yours?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I entered a competition in one of the big American conventions in 1995, and for my centerpiece I needed some kind of coral effect. And I came up with this idea then. I'm not quite sure how I came up with the idea. And I used it a lot for a long time, but you know, like everything, other ideas, other techniques come along and it gets superseded, and I just kind of forgot about it. When you've got enough, just pull on this as you twist, so that it wraps onto the wire, covers the wire, will eventually come off the end. Somewhere there's an end, there it is, like that, and then you can burst it and tie it, and it's done.
That's so clever.
They are actually really cool. I do like them. I've used them to make, you know, antlers and feelers for insects and fingers for monsters and all sorts of things. Anything you like, So they are a lot of fun. So that's coral. That's some kind of coral, undersea, creaturey something or other.
Obviously, you're limited by the length of the wire.
The wire and the balloon, yes.
But beyond,
I'm sure
could you put
there is a
multiple
way.
Balloons in?
I'm sure there's a way that you could overlap the wires as you were going and keep going. I haven't bothered to work that out. But if somebody wants to take it to the next level and come up with that, I'm sure it's entirely possible. I don't suppose there's anything really stopping you if you cut the wire there and rolled it around, then made it and just glued them together. You could probably do that if you wanted a really long one.
Yeah, true.
But most of the time, that seems to do the job.
Awesome.
Right. So here's the thing. I'm going to put one of the little seahorses, because I've got two. Here's the little seahorse that we're talking about. Lovely little balloon.
Funky.
He's funky, he's cute. And I'm going to put him on there. Now you need to just sort of move him around a bit to check where he sits within the curve of the frame, because he will sit better. You don't go there very well. Don't go there very well, so but he goes there
actually in the curve
really well, and then that will support him nicely. So if he goes in there, I can secure him in place with just 2 bits of stretchy balloon tape, and that will hold him in place, and we can hide the stretchy tape later. So one there, like that, and then the other piece down here just to keep him nice and sturdy. And then I'm going to put a cluster of latex balloons on the top of the frame.
Oh, 260's unwinding, Chris.
Oh, is it? Oh well, we'll fix it, shall we?
Planned it.
Yes, almost. I did look at it when I fished it out the car. I thought, well, that's got a bit battered, but it's going to be okay. Nothing that can't be sorted. So you get a double demo of how to do this technique now. So we'll just overlap, go back a little bit on where it was before, and round and round and round we go.
So would you have to take the dead 260 off
Yeah,
completely?
well,
So.
not completely, just to where it's.
All right, so you're just pulling that back,
Pulling that back,
overlapping it.
I'll overlap it like that, and then I'll cut that, tie that off.
I do love it when things go wrong with you, because you don't flap, you don't get anxious or bothered, you just deal with it.
Happens all the time. No time to go flapping about it, because you know everything's fixable. It's all, there's another bit there that might go, but we'll finish this off, see what happens.
Yeah.
Right, so on top here I want a cluster of balloons. Now I've got a whole selection here of all different under the sea type things. So I've got crystal, pastel greens and blues. I've got satin green and blue. Actually that's all I've got, because I'm using the reflex here, and I've got clear ones. So just want to make a little collection
So they're all
different
just
ones.
your normal Sempertex 5-inch.
Normal Sempertex 5-inch, but in these nice sort of funky finishes.
Yeah.
These crystal pastels, I think they're great.
Yeah, they are. They go well with the clears, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. But it's surprising how well they go just in anything. I did a Christmas wreath. I posted a whole bunch of, it was like an advent calendar really, different design every day throughout Christmas on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And one of them was a Christmas wreath, and I just used all the different shades of green, threw them all into a pot, mixed them all up, and then used them as they came out the pot. Which it was really quite an interesting.
Yeah.
And I put the crystal pastel greens in amongst the metallics and everything. It looks smashing. It just adds an extra texture, so it's really nice. So a few of those, squish them all up to the top, so you've got a bit of. And I'll need perhaps 2 or 3 little clusters like this, but not many.
Yeah.
And we'll have a clear one, like a bubble, because we are underwater after all. And then I'm going to wrap that onto the top, and that is what will support the second of the seahorses, because I'm going to use 2.
So these seahorses are brand new.
They are
At
indeed.
the time of filming, there are how many in the country?
At the time of filming, there are 3, and 2 of them are here.
Yeah.
And the third one I've had to hang on to, because it's destined to go to Spring Fair.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
But hopefully they're going to be here very soon, aren't they?
yes, they are.
Yeah.
They're on their way. I think they're due in within days.
Yeah, okay.
A bit of stretchy tape, short piece of modelling balloon on the back,
Yeah.
and then that will anchor him nice and easily to that cluster at the top there. And try very hard not to knock that expensive camera off the ceiling, because I don't think I would be welcome back if I did that.
Thankfully, it's one of the cheaper ones, but still.
Oh, that's all right then.
But still, yeah, I'd prefer it to remain up there. Thank you.
I'm going to put another balloon in there because it just needs a bit more stability.
Okay.
So, yeah. I'm not used to having photographic equipment dangling from the ceiling. you
It's
know.
not. It's not a normal thing.
No. I'm used to working in a room where the ceiling is 30 feet up.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is actually quite challenging when the ceilings are low. There we go, that'll do it. Okay, so there, he sits there quite nicely on the top.
Okay.
Faced him in the opposite direction to the one below, just for a bit of interest and all the rest, and then we'll add a couple of little clusters of bubbles here and there below.
So these 5-inch balloons, they're normal apart from the finish. Obviously, we a while ago, before Christmas I think it was, we were talking about somebody was talking about the 5-inch Reflex.
Yeah.
And how they inflate funny.
Yeah, or how they can possibly inflate funny, because it doesn't happen always.
Yeah.
But
there is the technique that we showed as well, because Megan was aware of it, and did a little video of her doing that. But it's basically
the Reflex latex that they use, whatever it is that gives it that reflex finish, affects the elasticity a lot.
Yeah.
So if you just put your balloon on the end of the thing and blow, it has a tendency to inflate long and thin rather than out sideways. So all you need to do is to pull the balloon down so that the tip of the inflator is in the body of the balloon, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And if you do happen to get one that inflates a funny shape, then just let it down and inflate it again.
Yeah.
Don't think it's ruined, because it's not.
It is effectively, it's almost like a different material, isn't it?
It is.
It's
very
latex
strange.
with whatever is added into it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it does feel completely different to normal latex balloons. But yeah, it's if you do get a slightly odd shaped one, do not panic. Let it down, do it again.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay. So that can go in there like that. I think I need one down here at the front somewhere. I've been ever so good and not inflating these by mouth, but it's driving me crazy.
You've always done that. You've used your third hand a lot, haven't you?
Always. And you know, I got ticked off. Got ticked off, health and safety, something or other. So I don't know. Use a hand pump, use an electric machine, so I'm doing my best, but oh dear.
Okay.
Right, so that's that. Turn it around a little bit so that, oops, sorry, nearly. And I'm going to hook that on the front there. I'm actually going to use a piece of balloon to tie it on with, because I don't want it to be tight. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so there we have the basic thing. Now we're just going to jazz it up with our bits of coral.
This is the interesting bit.
So I'm going to just use the tail end of the wire there, just to wrap it in and round, and then just, I don't know, do what you like with it.
Yeah.
No, that'll do. We'll have another one down this way. And as soon as you start putting these in, the whole thing comes to life.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more rhythm and a lot more shape. Let's turn it back so I can see what it looks like from your side. Because I do spend a lot of time looking at the back of designs when you're doing these things, and then sometimes you turn it around. Oh, you didn't. It's not quite the way I wanted it. So I'm actually going to look at it the right way around this time. Got 5 of these. Blue Peter moment. Here's some I made earlier.
It really does change the whole look of it,
doesn't it? And the Reflex texture is fantastic with these. I've never had that before. When I did use this technique, beforehand, it was metallic or standard or crystal, and they were all fine. But this Reflex texture, so shiny that it's lovely. It's worked really well. That one can go in there like that. And then I'm going to stop, because I think, looking at it, it's enough. I had got some clear 260s I was going to twist into bubbles and run up, but I really don't think we need it.
In that case, I'm going to get the naughty step out. Not for you.
No, good, thank you.
I can put it there.
I'll just turn it round though on the table here, make a little bit of a clearer, but there we go. So once again, when you break it down, the content of this is actually really small, but the overall effect, because of the details that we put into it, are quite something.
Yeah.
So, quite cute, isn't it?
I see what you've done.
Oh dear, oh Lord.
Chris,
never get any better, do they?
No. As you know, as a guest on BMTV, you get to ask the question of the week.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Yeah, just popped into my head at the last possible moment.
Excellent.
I'd like to know what themes people are getting asked for.
Oh, Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, so what themes are your customers asking for in 2020? Leave your answers down below on Facebook and on YouTube. Chris, thank you so very much.
Enormous pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.